Hello everyone, today we're going to be playing Risk, which is a game where you try and take over the world, and I'll explain it as I go on. But I have it to all the settings that I want, and I'll explain it. It'll be easier to explain when we're actually on the screen. So I'm red. So all these little, territories they call, you can see, there's markers between where the territories are. I pronounce territory is weird. But and then these are my troops. And I want to try and take over as many territories as possible. I want to try and take over the whole world. I think what I want to do is I'm going to try and take over all of Africa. And I have some troops in Asia, So, what I'm going to try and do is put all my troops here in not Africa, Australia. And then I'm going to try and take over Australia. So, that's all I'm going to do for now. Actually, I'm going to try and take this guy right here. And now, at the end of my turn, I can choose to move troops from places that are connected. So, I can move my troops from here over to here because they're not connected. I can only move things that are connected by territories. But I'm going to move my 4 here to there. So that way I can attack here. So, yeah, we didn't get kicked out or anything, which is good. I can take this. Surely, yeah. I don't think I'm going to try and take that, because it'd be a 5v5. But anyway, and you get at the end of the turn, if you take at least one, if you take control of at least one territory, you get something that are called cards. And once you have 5 cards, you can trade those cards in for troops. And I guess y'all can't really, bleep, bloop, bleep. And y'all couldn't see all of Australia there. But since this is a kind of older game, it doesn't really work well with recording softwares, so I can't really move over here a ton because every time I try and adjust something, it comes off the screen. So I should be able to take over all of Australia, and once I can take over one entire continent, I get something called a continent bonus, which is basically so, yeah, every time you get a continent bonus, as you can see at the start of the turn, we had troops, which we put in a territory. And then you can put, extra troops. Because at the beginning of a turn, you get troops. And the troops you get is dependent on how many, territories and continents you have. And now, since I, own all of Australia, I get an extra 2 troops at the beginning of every turn, and you can see that the normal is 3. So I think now that I've taken Australia and I've got pretty well defended, so I don't think anyone will be able to take over Australia. I'm gonna try and take over South America, because again, I'll get what's called a continent bonus. And then that is the only thing I'm gonna take. I'm going to try and just kind of take over one territory at a time until I can redeem my cards. And as you saw, once we get, as I said earlier, once you get 5 of these, y'all can't see where I'm pointing. Once you get 5 of these cards right here, you can redeem them for troops. So I'll be able to get a lot of troops there. But normally before we took Australia, we were getting 3 troops per turn. And now I'm getting 5 since I have Australia. And of course, the bigger continents and stuff give more troops. Australia gives 3, North America gives 5, Europe gives 5, and Asia gives 7. So you kind of want to take bigger ones. But personally, I like taking all of the smaller ones just because they're really easy to defend. And then so if I have 3 small countries, I'll be able to beat someone who has 1 big country. Or should be able to. And now we're gonna and then we have our troops to redeem. So this is gonna be easy. I have 22 there, and I'd have to get... Oh, and I forgot to explain. So I'm doing something called fast rolling. I'm sorry, I'm not doing a great job of explaining this. This probably looks very confusing. But these are all based on dice rolls. So as you can see, they beat me, which I kind of got unlucky there. But I have the attacker, so I'm attacking them. I have 3 dices or dies. And then they have 2, but they win ties. So the defender has only 2 dices, but they win ties. And that's kind of a way to make it a bit more balanced. I think it's slightly in the defender's favor of who wins. But I'm doing something just called fast rolling. So it like automatically rolls it without me having to just sit there and watch, which I like, so I don't have to sit here for 10 minutes. Since I'm trying to make a video, I don't want it to be 30 minutes long. So, and then at the end of the turn, we can fortify. So I'm gonna move all of my troops down here from right there. And it should be really hard to take over South America. So I think right now I'm going to try and take Africa. Because everything else is pretty well defended and hard to take. So for now I'm just going to take that one place right there. And then I'm going to move to the next turn. And then I'm going to try and build up all my troops here. And try and take the entire thing in one turn. So yellow was defeated. And defeated means you don't have any territories left on the whole map. So they were kind of kicked out of the game because they don't have any, like, spots left on the whole map. I'm not doing a great job at explaining this, but goal is to take over the world. And, you know, typically, like, an 11 would beat a 6. But you can just get really unlucky, and sometimes that doesn't happen. So I think what I'm going to do is fortify, and I can move all the troops from 1, but I'm going to kind of beef up this area, because if someone wanted to, they could easily move through, take this one and this one, and ruin 2 of my continent bonuses. And I don't think I mentioned it, but I'm playing with robots, so, you know, they're kind of dumb. They're not exactly the smartest people. And then I think now I fortified all my places so they'd be hard to take over. That's just what I'm going to do now. I'm going to make them really hard to take over. But I think next I'm going to aim for North America. And then I can trade in my cards, which I kind of got unlucky and only got 6 cards. Like, you can get 10, so of course you want to try and get 10, but you can't really control that. You might be able to. I think it's random, but I am kind of dumb. So, yeah. And again, like, my webcam is kind of broken, and so there's a lot of, like, light shining off my face. I should have a new webcam next episode, so it should be fixed and everything, because I kind of broke my webcam. I accidentally broke it because I got a new desk and I dropped it. So, yeah, it's kind of broken. But, yeah, it's only like $20, so it's not a huge deal. It's not like a huge deal, but I still would much have rather not have done that. So I'm going to try and take over as much as possible. I'm gonna take Greenland, and then I'm just gonna leave them all in Greenland, and then they're probably gonna take over all of these, or at least some of these territories that I've taken, but I'm gonna leave them all in Greenland for now. Yeah, they took over that one, but now I have 28 troops, so I should just be able to take over all of the rest of North America with ease. So, now what we want to do is take over this last one. And then I'm going to move half of the ones over here to Greenland. Because then you can, like, because then I only have 2 places that can be attacked. Or I have 3. But I don't need to worry about this one because I own this one. So since we own most of the world, we're getting a ton of troops every single round. So I'm gonna put them all there, and then I'm gonna put these here. And then I'm gonna do quite a bit here. I'm gonna take over that one, and then I'm gonna try and take over all of Europe. I got really unlucky there. Like, I got really unlucky there. But I should still be able to take over all of Europe. Maybe not. Yeah, I just got really unlucky on that one and lost a ton of troops. I think I'm going to leave it there, and then I'll easily be able to take over the entire rest of it next round. So, I'm going to put all of my ones there. And then I'm just going to kind of waltz through the entirety of Europe. Oh, and I defeated someone, so I took out their last territory. And whenever you take out someone's last territory that they own, you get their cards. So now I can kind of steal their cards, since I were the people who took out their final territory. I get their cards. So I'm going to put them all there, and then take over. Honestly, if I play my cards right, or just, if I do this right, I think I should be able to take over the world this turn, if I can think about it right. So I'm gonna take over green. So now, since I took out green's last territory, I get their cards, and now I can redeem these troops. So I'm gonna put them all there, and just kind of march up here. Okay, I really need to take Japan with this turn. Okay, so now this is gonna be easy. So now, this is the final thing keeping me from owning the entire Earth. I'm gonna do it slowly, just so we can kind of, the suspense, you know? I got kind of unlucky there, lost 2 troops. And then they won ties since they're the defender. Getting kind of unlucky here, but I will win. I have a whole nother territory with a ton of troops in it that can... And then I win. So I just took over the world. I conquered all my opponents. Yeah, I won the entire Earth. Took over all my opponents. So anyway, goodbye, YouTube. I'll see you tomorrow. I should have a fully functioning webcam. This one's not super broken, but definitely does get my face bad in lighty spots. But anyway, I'm gonna start editing this video. Goodbye, everyone.